Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3. This is our Grimgore Ironhide Immortal Empires campaign. We are on turn 91 as our long campaign victory nears. Grimgore is going to start things off with a very easy auto-resolve here as he begins to move back towards his home base. We are currently taking territory back from Clan Ferric after chopping off the head of many of the rats. They are pretty weak right now, and we have Oglock the Horrible, as well as Grimgore, just gobbling up everything that we lost in the northern half of the zone. Pretty easy victories, just garrison units. We expected to win these no problem, especially with Grimgore's army and Uglock. Actually, Uglock's army still seems pretty low tier. He just has a couple of black orcs in it. But the Northern Desert has been reunited. Isn't that wonderful? Kolek is still holding that peace treaty with us. In fact, our attitude towards each other continues to improve, believe it or not. Meanwhile, over near the northern provinces, it seems they've been pushed back actually quite far over here on the eastern side. Frame rate is getting a little low on the overworld map as we are getting pretty deep into this campaign at this point. I clicked on Kugath earlier and he said sickliness is next to godliness. Don't you think? If you only knew, Kugath. If you only knew. In order to fulfill our long campaign victory, the only thing we still need to do is take over 13 more settlements. However, I don't believe that total updated after re-grabbing territory that I had previously. So we might have to expand in a new direction. The Crooked Moon, our friends to the west, seem to have a lot of territory, but if you really zoom in on what they're doing, they don't have too many marching armies. It seems like whatever they did have, they just threw at Belagar and lost it, unfortunately. So they might be losing a lot of territory here pretty soon. I mean, that army's not terrible. They have another smaller one pushing in towards Belagar right now. And just look at this doomstack he has coming towards Carrick 8 Peaks right now. So we might need to be some assistance over there. Clan Moors is retaking the southern desert like crazy. And we also have another clan of rats, Clan Rictus, retaking the central desert. However, we do have stuff in place for this. Grizguz is going to get a decisive victory onto this ruined garrison. And we're just going to start to move our armies back to the west. We have one that's been fighting the western provinces forever that is finally getting closer to home. However, these armies have been marching for so long. Our highest tier unit in here is an Orc Biggin. So we may need to do a bit more recruiting first. Do we have military access? It looks like we do. Perfect. So I will be able to move my army across Kugath's lands, no problem, heading back towards that western desert. Our recruitment hub over here is still the Black Fortress, and it does look like it could use a couple more upgrades. These are getting pretty pricey, so we are going to have to do some raiding if we want to fund it. We have two armies kind of over where the western provinces used to be. My plan for them was to push up north and continue to fight against Kolek, but he signed that peace treaty against us. So these armies over here don't have too much of a purpose at the moment, and they are very strong. By the way, our WA ends in 2 turns, so we're going to get significantly weaker once that happens. But if I can colonize this and start moving back to the west, you know, the Vale of Titans was our entryway into this area. If we could protect that, we might be okay. I'm going to continue to invest money in buildings when I can rather than units, because getting our general income up seems pretty important to me at this point. Marching stance for Zuck Spider Killer. As he starts to move west, we'll just get these guys back in the central desert. I'm not that upset if I start to lose territory over here. We came over here to solve a grudge. We decapitated the man who angered us, and now it's time to go. And with that, turn 91 is over, Now that we're getting into the meat of this episode, I want to apologize for the break again. We had a emergency happen over the weekend. I made a YouTube post about it. I don't want to derail the video too much with it, but thank you all for your support, your kind words, and your patience. Things should be hopefully getting back to normal. Now, Clan Moors takes the Bone Gulch. Bro, the in-between turn times is getting ridiculous. That was 4 minutes, and I only have a couple factions really uncovered. Imagine if we could see everything that was also happening over on the western side of the map. Well, Clan Moors is still continuing to take area down in the south like crazy. If they keep moving east, I will lose a recruitment hub, which we don't want to have happen. And unfortunately, it looks like Clan Rictus is about to leave a plague here for us or something. What a kind gift. I'm so excited about that. So excited. Toxide has fled the army of Grizguts and is hiding inside of the Daemons slump. I'm not going to be able to get down there easily, but what I can do is march down the hill and at least attack the Sentinels next turn. And we'll continue to try to chase after this destruction. However, they will be able to elude me. I mean, maybe not. If I have the same underway travel speed as they do. I just have a bad feeling that these guys are going to be dipping and diving under mountains the entire way. It's going to be really problematic. We are officially pulling all armies out of the east. This is the last turn of our WA. Whatever we lose here, I am ready to lose. In fact, if it looks like we're going to start losing stuff, I'm literally just going to start giving it away to this guy. Grimgore is ready to move. His army is, honestly, Grimgore's army is our best army. I think that Uglok Horrible, I gotta say the last part, you have to, should be able to deal with this no problem. I'm going to have him march north. Of all the Skaven attacking me, the Skaven faction that was up here is definitely the weakest at the moment. So I want to apply as much pressure to them as I can. We theorized where their settlements up north were, and I believe it was 1, 2, and 3 right here. Now, I don't want too much trouble with this faction, although I think I am trespassing on their lands right now.
You won't live till the end of your incoherent ramblings.
This is Norska. They're at war with the Legions of Chaos, which is to the west. They're allies with the Everchosen, though, and we've been afraid of the Everchosen this entire campaign. So I'd like to avoid any conflicts there if we could. Grimgore, instead of going north, is going to start barreling down to the south. I'm going to pressure this army that is recruiting for these Skaven right here. If we can just wipe them out of my desert, we'll be fine. I imagine they're going to start marching, but I'll just keep sending Grimgore south, and he can regroup with Ugrok, who's having all kinds of trouble down here as well. He might be able to start retaking territory. His army's not terrible. Valiant defeat has been called. Let's get some siege equipment and encircle. Although, if we do that, we're screwed. I'm going to try. It looks like they do have a wizard here. I'm going to try. I might be able to outsmart some rats. We'll see. All right, boys. These filthy rats. I can't do that voice anymore. It's hurting my throat. All right, we have some rats sitting inside of this base. We don't know where just yet, but yes, indeed, it looks like they've made themselves at home. This place is disgusting. We have found an area where their catapults will not be able to see us right away, so I stuck a lot of my units over here in the corner. And I think we might actually have to move these guys over as well, but I just kind of had them over there for organization's sake. Let's not forget that Skaven can pile out of the ground anywhere, so we should be ready for that. The reason I wanted to fight this turn and not next turn is because we have a WA that will be helping us in this battle. A lot of low-tier units, nothing too crazy, but with these reinforcements, we're going to be a lot better off than we would be without them. And with any luck, we're going to be drawing the attention of a lot of these units over to the side to fight us instead of whatever they were planning on doing. So we're going to begin this battle by targeting the fort and trying to take it down as soon as possible. It looks like we are indeed within range of it, so I hope we kill it quick. That is a lot of poison coming our way, but we do have rocks being lobbed back. Ooh. I kind of hope they kill it quick. They are. We're winning this. There's more shots. They have artillery inside of the base as well that's also hitting us. Not too much I can really do about that at the moment. We got to take care of this tower first, and then we can change to shoot into the city. Maybe I should have had my leader. No, my leader's a wizard, so that wouldn't have been too much help if I had them run over there to hit that as well. Okay, we're going to take casualties while we're waiting. It's fine. It's fine. One more volley. There it is. It's dead. Now we swap targets over to their artillery. We do have some enemies burrowing up from the ground, but our archers melted them before too much damage could be done. We are seeing... Okay, we're good. We are seeing more and more artillery coming in from the city. What was... Oh, they just barely saw you here. Let me move these guys back just a tad. It looks like we are starting to target the enemy artillery. They are going through a lot of their shots, though, before we really get too much done. We are starting to land some hits now. I'm hoping the fact that we just have numbers advantage with our artillery means we'll be able to just outlast these guys. Yeah, some of those rocks are starting to fall. These Skaven are pretty grouped up here as well. Wow, that's a pretty gnarly looking catapult there. Our reinforcements should be on the way soon. So far, no one's advancing out of the city, which is actually really, really good for us. That means our army here, which here they are, is going to be able to advance right to this gateway. Okay, good. I thought that was being watched. I thought that was one unit right there. So they'll be able to move in and be pretty effective, hopefully. Have we dissuaded their artillery? It looks like slowly but surely it's taking damage. I'm going to go ahead and tell these guys to retreat. Maybe they'll get a different target. It might be a little too late for that, to be honest with you. But I'll tell them to start moving now. Well, they have all of their defenses in one spot, so if we send in our WA down to the bottom, we might be able to pull some of their defenses away. And that would be a very, very good thing for us. I thought this would be going a little bit better. I'm not going to lie to you. This catapult's taking a beating and a half, but I believe it was also their only artillery. So if we kill it, that's a huge, huge, huge advantage. These WA units are a lot less valuable than the units in my army as well. If they die, that's okay. They were free. They came from nowhere. I'm just going to have them advance towards the door as fast as we can. Meanwhile, we're still continuing to hold. It looks like they are summoning in units to stop us. It's difficult to say how effective those units have been versus how low my characters already were. So I'm going to make sure we're not in catapult range again. Here we go. Move those guys over there. Now my catapults can start to unleash. This is the fun part. With these guys breaking, it looks like they might re-rally soon. But with these guys breaking, that means they have nothing in the city that can actually fight me back. And these guys are going to be forced to retreat. They are not going to be able to hold this wall. We do have some rocks landing in on them. I'm going to retarget. I'm literally going to use all of my artillery ammo before I move my main army in. Meanwhile, the secondary army is marching forward, and it looks like all units have arrived now. So this is the entirety of our WA right here. Let's make them all one group. Be very easy to keep track of them. They are still summoning in units behind my army. I hope our trolls are devouring this stuff before it's too much of an issue. No, it looks like they are getting some licks in here and there. I had some mobile archers that don't seem to be holding up super well. I don't like that my catapults are advancing this far. I'm trying to tell them just to fight people on top of the wall, which they have very easy line of sight of, right, guys? So why are we moving forward? All right, might be time to break the walls down. If our artillery don't agree with us, it might be time to move in. We are about to start hitting the door. I don't want to climb over the walls if I don't have to. Looks like reinforcements are starting to go that direction, but taking their sweet time. We're going to send in our army of black orcs first. They're going to hit that wall hard and hopefully rip right through anything on the other side. Reinforcements are being summoned in to fight my army over here, and we just need to make sure that we are taking that threat seriously. You guys keep moving. Stay out of their way. We should be able to catch these guys with our warriors. The wall is getting low on the southern side. The black orcs are approaching. We honestly should probably just move this entire army forward here. We may have to adjust to keep them out of catapult range, but I don't think it'll be that hard. Are we in the city, boys? Come on! Gate health is down. In. Get that capture point. Stop shooting your friends. Meanwhile, this gate won't last long once these black orcs get close to it. We do see the artillery has re-rallied over there, and we do have some units within range of this tower. I'll just have them mostly charged to the sides if they are in range. I don't want anyone taking excess damage here. Once we get through the gate, those will stop firing. But for now, this is what we got. I'm going to send some spearmen up to tie up these warriors moving forward. Let's send in 2 groups there. Then I have my trolls, which I'm going to try to flank with. What else do we have in this gigantic WA army? Our front line is actually mostly goblins here, so it is going to be a little weird. We can get our archers up on this wall to shoot at the corners, and it looks like our archers outside are already taking some shots in here as well. Trolls are going to be able to flank around and deal damage over here, hopefully. No, that was actually totally closed off. Okay, so the approach on this side isn't quite as easy as I was hoping, but we have so much numbers advantage here that I don't think it'll matter too much. Meanwhile, the gates should be open by now, right, boys? No, they're working on it, though. It seems like most of the Skaven are totally falling back from this wall, either going to the opposite side to defend against us or going further into the city to seek refuge. I'm going to get some of my melee boys on breaking these barricades down. I don't want them to have any kind of tactical advantage against us. But we do need to move in relatively quickly to actually start to take some of these control points away from them. The walls have been broken down. The black orcs are in the city, and now everyone else here can follow as we file in. So black orcs are going to be able to take over this point, no problem. Let's start to spread these guys out in the city a bit. They are super effective at chopping enemies down to size. We're going to reinforce the southern side with archers here that can shoot onto the high ground. Hopefully, we'll be able to run past these guys here relatively soon. Archers doing a great job from the high ground here. I'm not too happy with the speed of these archers at the moment, but I'm sure it will get better. In fact, what if I just tell them to walk through the front door now? Maybe that would be better. So we've divvied up the enemy army. They don't know where to focus right now, which is a good buff for us. We also spotted the enemy catapults that they may have left abandoned here. Just faded out from my vision again for some reason. Interesting. Well, our trolls are in the city, and I'm going to give them targets right away. We also have our chariots inside, as well as some ranged infantry that I'm going to try to micro a little bit and hopefully get some good use out of. Now, unfortunately, my shaman's been tied up a little bit here, so I'm going to stop these chariots here and try to get my wizard back to safety. And basically anyone that walks through this door will be able to peel for him. He'll be totally fine. That was our big wah. We get a big bonus across the map that helps us in melee combat. And as we push up on this southern side, if we have any buffs, these guys should be hurting pretty hard. Seems like some of our units that climb the walls are still having difficulties getting to where they need to go. We've broken the enemy here, and we're going to continue to push forward. Where is the control point for all of this stuff? Looks like it might be over here. Let me get some chariots moving over towards this capture point. This will get rid of, I think, 2 towers that these guys are using to currently fight us back. Okay, I want you dealing damage here. Black Orcs are heading up towards the top. In fact, I want to get all of my melee units together to push for that. So let's get these guys moving. These are going to be my group 6 at the moment. It's all my melee units heading up towards the top capture point. We could probably send our wizard that way as well, just to reinforce these guys. And the archers that are left behind, we're just going to use them to clean up everything else. Chariots are on the move. Again, we want them to go here. I don't know why they're heading up to the high ground to do that, but they know best, I'm sure. We could also make a mad dash for this control point, which doesn't seem to be guarded. We might lose some units while we're doing it, but I think we'll be okay. Meanwhile, the push here isn't going as well as I had hoped. Let's move some archers over and just get some extra damage into this group as fast as we can. And with the units that aren't currently engaged, let's make sure that we're trying to flank to the best of our ability. Some archers still having trouble getting into the city. We're rallying them in the right direction now. Melee units to just head up towards this control point and try to wipe these guys out. Remember, everything fighting down here at the bottom is a free unit we got from our WA. And look how disruptive that has been. Our real valuable units are moving up this way. No problem. All of our melee units are going to be sicked on those dudes over there. I don't know why they stopped moving already. That's kind of frustrating. Also, have these just been abandoned? It's just a wooden frame here. The struggle for power is looking pretty good for us at the moment. Once again, getting up to the high ground here, proving a little difficult, and these rats are doing a lot of damage as we are just pinned. I'm going to try to just spam click some trolls to move up the hill, and if we can get any units on this, it'll at least disrupt their fire, although they've already dumped half of their ammunition there. Those guys are pretty okay. We have busted down a wall on the left side, so I'm going to try to move up as far as I can here. The trolls have managed to grab those attackers in the back. Archer's still shooting here, should clear that up in no time. And now the chariots are free, hopefully clashing into the back of the opposition there. We're going to try to keep our units moving towards these objectives. They seem to be taking lots of breaks, even though I'm not giving them any new commands. We're going to move directly for this. Once again, we want to stop any of the base defenses that these guys have from attacking us. Archers over here are finally getting ahead of the damage. These guys are starting to get melted. I'm going to take our trolls and head them over here. If we can, once again, hit these guys in the back as we flank in, that's going to do quite a lot of damage. And it seems like our goblins are finally overtaking those reinforcements. Well, catapults, I want you to set up. I don't know where I want you to set up. Let's just get you over here, I guess. We do have some units intercepting some of my archers up there on the high ground. We have more archers to come help, though. Those guys should be totally fine. Our wizard is just going to hang back here and continue to hit this stuff as our melee units march forward. Let's send some black orcs to the side just to cut these guys down. Our real goal is to get to this capture point and then the one behind it, so they lose all of their leadership. We're actually doing a pretty good job of taking the middle right now. Let's make sure his friends are shooting into the melee group while we kite around here. I'm just going to queue up some movements with shift, and we shouldn't have to do too much with that guy. Meanwhile, we are able to finally get onto the capture point at the southern entrance that they invested so many resources into. This place had so many barricades. They were trying hard to keep it up and operational. I don't win too many battles by control point victory, so like this is super fascinating for me. I think it's actually really fun to go after these objectives. Normally, I just kind of sit back and kill every unit. This is a very different strategy for sure. I also think doing stuff like this has gotten me a lot better at controlling much larger armies and just kind of periodically checking in with them. I kind of fell into a trap where I feel like if I wasn't constantly staring at a unit, I would feel like everything was going wrong. But look at this. This push has been going fine. We're taking down these units over here and capturing the horn. After we take the horn, moving up to the high ground to take the final control point shouldn't be that hard to do. And the only opposition standing in front of us has just broken. We were supposed to lose this fight. Bro, I don't know if I even lost a unit. Come on! We legitimately did not lose a unit. I'm very proud of that. I'm glad I attacked this turn and not next turn. That massive distraction we had with all of our units in one spot allowed our WA to just move right in and take territory. That would have been really, really difficult without the WA. Well, 2,717 Skaven just died, and we are going to occupy the Crookback Mountain again. Now, does that work for our total? Because I had this before. Oh yeah, it sure does. This doesn't update in real time. Bro, we're almost done. Hey, Nurgle. Are we gonna be friends, Kugath? You know, at this point, I'm fine with that, my dude. Sure. As long as that doesn't make my other friends mad, I'm totally fine with that. And look, Kugath is fighting the same two rat factions that are currently my number 1 and 2 enemy. Karakazul, owned by the Crooked Moon, was completely ignored. Well, our WA has ended. Grimgore's army is significantly weaker this turn compared to last turn. However, not too much of our strategy. Those savages top knots are coming. Oh, I hate top knots. There must have been a rebellion. Some of the top knots managed to come back into the game. Well, how far away from victory are we? We are 11 settlements away. Grimgore is actually in range of another army right now. These dirty rats didn't move in time. They're in encampment stance. And we's gonna page them a visit. Oh yeah, you can't go that way. You're still in range, bud. Uh-oh. That's a decisive victory. This guy barely has an army. It's like a half of his units. The easiest fight Grimgore's ever done. Meanwhile, up north, adorable, has a similar situation. However, I think this unit would be able to move out of my way in time. So I'm actually just going to press the advantage forward. This is a close victory. We do have a lot of tier 1 units, but I am going to take that victory. I'm also going to loot and occupy. I don't really want this territory. The looting and occupying allows me to get a lot more of my health back quickly. And maybe I could do some... Bro, that's got to go in Grimgore's army. Who do we want to kick out so I can get a dragon? Probably an archer, unfortunately. I'm sorry, little buddy. I'm sorry. Look at that. Feral Wyvern. So I think Uglock's going to just keep going north. I believe this faction only has one marching army right now, and it's this guy right here. If I could take this and the one above them, these guys will be wiped out. And I think we can confirm that just by double-clicking and then seeing how many settlements they do have left. Now, these guys would do a peace treaty with me. And to be honest with you, that might be worth it. That may not be a bad idea. It might get these other Skaven to stop fighting me. But really, at the end of the day, we're kind of in control of this situation right now. The Demon Stump, is currently being encircled. Now, we do have some settlements over here in the mountains as well that are being encircled. These Wood Elves are going to be taking this territory back. I can't go back and stop it. I was hoping Vlad would be doing a little bit better over here. I'm not going to lie to you. So stuff like Zufbar and Grompeak, we might start to lose. I think Mormul's going to take the Black Mine next turn. I can't defend it anyway. I'm going to once again try to trade this over to our friend. So you guys can have the Black Iron Mine. What are you going to give me for it? Absolutely. That works for me. Thank you. I'm taking attrition damage moving through my own territory thanks to Kugath. What a really great friend to have. I'm so glad that he's my friend. And someone else didn't claim him before I could, you know? Ugrock is going to move east towards Mount Greyhag. This does have Skaven corruption. I would imagine this is just one of their, cities they left behind, though. See, these guys took a lot of territory from me pretty quickly, but they didn't really... they haven't had enough time to set up defenses or anything, or really recruit any other units in this territory. So Clan Rictus has just kind of been getting weaker as they've been moving to the east. Clan Moors is honestly the really scary one. And that concludes turn 93. We got a lot of money from just taking over settlements. I just reinvested that back into our own, making sure our income's a little bit better every turn. Clan Moors moves up to the fortress of Vorag. They're continuing to take the southern desert. They did not attack the Crooked Moon because they're not at war? That was actually a 5-head play to keep the territory in greenskin hands. It wasn't on purpose. No. No, Clan Rictus. I will win this game over your dead corpses. The Wargrove of Woe finally encircled this place long enough. Not going to be able to stop that from happening. I don't know this for sure. I imagine a Wood Elf wouldn't actually do too well with territory inside of the mountain range. They didn't even take... Okay, there they go. What was the point? If they took it, that's fine. But it looks like that's not the end of our worries, as it looks like Zufbar is being encircled now, and one of these rebellions is starting to take territory from the Crooked Moon, or at least causing trouble in that territory. Ally begins construction of an outpost. Nurgle's making himself at home. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm going to move Uglock, so we need to be very careful about this. I'm gonna move Uglock here to this bridge. Next turn, I'm gonna underway across, or try to. That way I'm not actually trespassing on any Norska territory. Now, this guy is a fan that I'm at war with this Clan Ferric. So I don't think we have too much to worry about if I do tiptoe into his territory. But I would like to avoid any conflict if we could. Grimgore is going to start once again marching south towards Clan Rictus, who's been gobbling up territory. We should have a lot of units in the area to help as well. Rather than this guy... staying here, I'm actually going to push him further to the south as well. Yeah, he's going to head towards the Sentinels. We'll try to take that next turn. Kugath's actually holding the mountains really well here. He has a ton of armies reinforcing this. So, I mean, that is a good thing. He's kind of splitting my territory in half at the moment, so navigating around him is taking a little time. But we're not trespassing or anything. We have that military alliance. Almost all of our eastern armies that we're pushing over here are moving west, and we should easily be able to hold the desert with what we have moving in here. I'm going to send Ugrock towards the Darkhold. Grizguz is going to take the Sentinels next turn. Oh, this is the fastest turn I've ever seen in my life. It took no time at all. Done. It's like 30 seconds.
Let's talk. I can kill you.
Why are you reaching out to me? Join war against Averland. Sure, bud, I'd be happy to do that for you. Thank you for the money. I'm never going to go that far west to fight those guys, but he gave me money, so I like that.
Now's the time.
All right, let's see if this plan for up north actually works. Underway. Boom. Nice. Didn't even touch his territory. We went under it. We do have one of these Skaven leaders inside of Carrickdom, so we do need to be slightly concerned with that. Also, it seems like the Wood Elf is not done with its quest to move east. Although, isn't Vlad going to be a bit of a problem for you if you're not defending your territory? I think we'll let them learn that life lesson on their own. We should have a lot of Skaven buildings to roll over with easy, decisive victories. Once again, Clan Rictus kind of very quickly expanded east. took a lot of my cities that were undefended because we were so preoccupied with another war. But it doesn't look like they've really taken any time to defend this as well. Although, that's not looking too bad. There's some leadership here. Level 21 Lord. Let's see how it goes. Well, I think I understand why the odds are in our favor on this one. A lot of the Skaven here are simply melee units. Look at how many spears and swords these rats have. Unfortunately, they're going to be plowing directly into some much bigger axes. The Black Orc army is one of the best melee units I have ever seen. I think these guys are going to be cut to size very, very quickly. However, we're not putting all of our eggs in one basket, so to speak. Our catapults are already in range to start dealing damage. How do I tell them not to move forward? Really don't want you guys advancing. Would it be guard mode? Hold their position and not pursue disengaged targets. That's what I want. So we're going to start this off by them basically taking aim at whatever they can get in range. I imagine the enemy leadership is going to bolt off in this direction, but our leadership, as well as several of our pump wagons, are going to be moving down the left side and just breaking through everything as well. Here's hoping it turns out the way I think it will. Catapult's already firing. Let's select this army and get them moving forward. Now, do they know I'm here? I'm not sure if they could have seen me. I'm not sure if these guys are just scouting this out. But we actually trade really favorably into a lot of these guys, except for whatever a plague monk is. Oh yeah, they're trying to get out of catapult range very, very quickly. Will they reform up to brace for us? I'm not sure, but we're going to change up our formation here a little bit. Just make sure that our side is actually covered just in case they push in. We want to make sure we're facing the opposition. Well, it looks like the right side is about to clash. Doomdivers are falling onto our Skaven friends, and they're already taking a lot of damage. It does indeed seem like they were able to spot me inside of the brush over here, so I'm just going to have our units begin to engage. The pump wagons do need to charge, so let me pull them back. Move around to the side and charge back in. Thank you, little guys. All right, the Black Orcs are meeting their adversaries. I'm going to pause for a quick second. I wasn't sure which hag I had. We want to cast Spirit Leech on a single target. Boom, done. March the army up to meet the opposition. This is looking fine. Let's get archers over here as well. Move my wizard back just a little bit. And we're going to move our other river troll up just to make sure that this line is relatively reinforced. They do have some vehicles that they moved in on me on the right side. Let's check in on the left, see how this is going. A-okay. We're going to increase our leader's weapon damage as well and have him fight the plague monks. They seem to be the scariest unit on the left side. However, this will not hold forever if we don't address it. So, catapults, I want you shooting into this pile, please. Our Black Orcs are going to try to hold that line for as long as possible, but I don't think it'll go particularly well. Let's get another Spirit Leech onto the enemy leader. That's good for single target. I have another one I can cast as well. But what I want to do instead is actually lower this guy's armor. And I think our Black Orcs will be able to rip right through that. First Wa is almost ready as well, so the timing on that armor reduction is probably pretty good. It does seem like the right side is already breaking. They didn't stand too much of a chance over here. Their leadership plummeted right as they met some opposition. The Wa is almost ready. I have Black Orcs coming in for the flank on this side. Let's make sure those units aren't just standing still taking damage. Catapult damage seems to be working on the left. Let's double cast again. Spirit Leech with one of our shaman. You couldn't do another one. That's fine. Let's actually line you up for your Swamp Breath. Good versus single target. Hopefully it lands. It is in a lot of Black Orcs. Dude, that Skaven leader's just getting melted. He doesn't stand a chance. Unfortunately, some of our pump wagons also getting melted over here on the side. Leadership not doing as well as I thought they would have over here, but they're slowly retaking that ground. The Skaven leader is running away now. The Black Orcs continue to pursue, pushing into even more opposition here. We don't want our archers shooting into the trees if we can avoid it, but I think they can land those shots okay there. Seems like most of our Skaven adversaries are actually hiding in the trees over on that side. So we're going to send more Black Orc units over into their direction. The left side once again seems to be going in our favor, but taking way more casualties than I expected. At least our leadership is looking pretty okay here, and we could always merge these units together in hopes of getting something else. I don't think I'm cycle charging these units quite enough. Well, leadership across the board still seems to be breaking. Once you get a black orc in range, I keep calling them Black Knights. I was watching Monty Python clips last night when I couldn't sleep. The Black Orcs have hit the trees. We have clan rats trying to hold. That's not going to go super well. I'm going to retarget our Doom Divers to the right. Retarget these archers as well, just to make sure that they hit these spearmen before they get too close. We do have some Black Orcs that are kind of ripping towards the mountain range right now, but across the board, everyone seems to have gotten the message. And we were victorious against the Skaven threat yet again. Barely even a scratch on our boys. And look at these kill numbers. 481. Our catapults are averaging over 200 kills. Wow. We really did cut their units to pieces. That was the garrison as well, by the way. That's why you shouldn't let your rats have swords. Give them guns, bro. What are you doing? Oh. Did someone lose their trade caravan? Right here? Oh, no. I guess I'll just have to take that $12,000. You know, let's call it $13,000 from someone in the Grand Cathay that doesn't already like me. Oh, maybe you shouldn't have tried to trade through a massive mountain range controlled by your enemy. Weird. And that's gonna do it. Turn 95 ends right here. Grimgore marching to the south to fight back the one real threat remaining on the map for him. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hope you enjoyed. We'll be getting back to our normal schedule here pretty soon. And thank you guys for your patience. I appreciate it.